a blanket nearby for the end of the session, where we do like a guided relaxation. You might want to have a blanket. If I don't know, where maybe you're in a hot area of the US and you don't want a blanket, so but that could be something. Maybe have some water close to you, and if you like, maybe your lotion, that if your skin is dry in certain areas and we're starting to move some joints, it might be nice to have some cream there so that your skin is not feeling so super uncomfortable. Yeah, that was it. Shall we do I need to so my name is Sacha. I was born with ichthyosis myself. I became a member of first, I think, 4 years ago or something, Denise, or 5 years. Time is just flying by. Yeah, I don't know the exact type of ichthyosis I have as of yet. I sent my sample over to Yale, so it's I did that last year. So yeah, that's my story short. I live in Canada, British Columbia, and originally I am from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So here we are. Let's start this yoga session. So I'm going to move back to my chair. And I hope everybody can see me and hear me well. But if not, please unmute yourself and let us know. But I think it's, I did some testing, so it should all be fine. So I'll just wait 1 more minute so that everybody has their water, their lotion, their blanket, cushion, anything you need to be comfortable during this yoga session. And yeah, you can also be seated on your yoga mat. I see Lance is sitting on his yoga mat. So yeah, that's of course also an option. However you like to sit, maybe you like to do some of the form standing. You can, it's your practice. So let's start by moving our feet. And first I'd like to maybe just notice your feet on the floor or your feet. And if you're not if you don't have your feet on the floor, maybe the connection between your seat and the floor. So maybe a moment to just notice that connection. Maybe you like to keep your eyes open, maybe you like to close your eyes. Just acknowledging that we're starting this yoga practice together. And then let's start by moving our ankle joints by making circles. It doesn't matter which foot. So making circles with your ankle. And the key is to do it really slow. We're all used to this movement where we just move our ankle really fast. This is really about moving slowly. So maybe inhaling for half a circle and then exhaling to completing the circle. So inhaling and exhaling. And at your own pace, just moving, just mindful movements. Just really noticing that rotation of your ankle joints, and maybe moving your ankle in the other direction. And again, slow movements. Maybe flexing and extending your ankle. Also slow movements, maybe inhaling with flexing, exhaling with extending. And one more. And then place your foot back down, and maybe you notice a difference between your two ankles. Maybe you don't notice a difference. That is also possible. And then move it to the other foot, making slow circles, using your breath to slow down the movement. Inhaling half a circle, exhaling, completing the circle. A few more. Or maybe reversing the circle. Maybe one more. And then flexing and extending your ankle joints. Inhaling, maybe flexing, exhaling, extending. These are so good to do these joint movements. We use our feet all day. And it's just very good to just keep some flexibility in those ankle joints. And then maybe place your foot down and just take a moment to notice how that feels for you in your ankles. Maybe you notice a difference. And then we'll just move up our legs and we'll just give our knees some love. And I always like to start with a little bit of a massage so that those two little indents on either side of your kneecap, just with your thumbs, just making little circles, just massaging those knees. They can sometimes also be painful, tight, all sorts of issues we can have with our knees. So it's good to sometimes just give them a little massage, maybe massaging the sides, just. And if it feels okay for your skin today, maybe tapping with a loose fist, just tapping around your knee. Just get some blood flow there. And then your other knee, the same thing. We'll start with the little circles with your thumbs and those little indents. So massaging. Feel like you're welcome to talk to your knees too. I sometimes talk to body parts if I give them some love. But that might be just me. And then maybe maybe some tapping. Nice. How does that feel? Weird, different. And then from here, maybe and you can decide if you like to move forward if you're sitting and just straightening and bending your knee, or if you like to straighten and bend your knee this way. So, and if you're sitting on your mat, it might look a little bit different as well. So you can decide how you like to just move your knee joint. And maybe the other one. Maybe your knee makes a little sound like my knee does. Maybe not. This one does make noises. And then we'll move up and we'll move our hips. Maybe bring some movement into our hips. And one way of doing that might be to just move from side to side. Moving from side to side. And maybe moving forward and back. And also, we can also connect these two movements and making circular movements. Maybe starting with really small circles. And then from there, make them bigger. And even bigger. And then maybe reversing those circles. Starting with the biggest circles you made. And then maybe from there, slowly making them smaller and smaller. And even smaller. So you're almost not moving. And maybe take a moment. Maybe you like to close your eyes or not. Keep your eyes open. And maybe take a moment and notice. Notice how your body feels at this moment after moving your ankles and your knees and your hips. Maybe you notice a difference. Maybe your breathing has changed. And then from here, I like to do a few standing poses so that we're moving, but you can also stay seated. So I will be offering them standing, but you can decide for yourself what you would like to do at this moment. And what I like to do sometimes is just shake. Just shake my arms, shake my feet, shake your body. Just getting rid of maybe build of tension from today or from yesterday, from a month. Just shake it off. And then place your feet a little bit wider than your hips, maybe, and then a little bit bent into your knees. And then just let your arms just flop around your body. Looks like your hips are moving first and your arms are just following. Just following. Just waking up our spines if they're not waking up yet, but just waking up and be mindful. If you have any injuries, just be mindful how you move. And then from here, slow it down, and then slowly come to neutral standing form. And then maybe inhale, reaching your arms all the way up. And you can't see my hands, but I'm holding with one, oh no, you can see, with one hand your other wrist. And then lean over to one side. Really feeling that extension of the side of your body. Inhaling back to the center. And then change hands and then lean over to the other side. And then inhaling back to center. And maybe bend a little bit in your knee and just keep your arms straight. I like to close my eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. And deep inhale here. And exhale. Your arms all the way down. And let's just do a few balancing forms just for fun. I always like to make them a little bit more playful because they can sometimes be a little hard. So just move the balance to one leg, doesn't matter which one. Starting with my right foot, but you can start with your other foot. And then just maybe just lifting your other foot up. You can decide if you like to lift your foot up a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. So just play with some balancing forms. It helps if you smile while doing it. It's not that serious. And another way of balancing might be if you're familiar with a tree pose. So you can keep your foot on the mat and use this as like a kickstand against your ankle, or you can move maybe your foot up a little bit higher, underneath your knee, not on your knee. Yeah, you can use your arms for balance. If you like, you can also bring your foot up higher for the yogis under us. So you can play with these things. It's not about how high, it's about where do you find your balance. Well, then let's try that on the other side. Maybe shake it out first a little bit. Shake it out, shake it out. And then on the other side, move your weight over to your other foot and then maybe lift your other leg. And that might be a little bit or higher, you can decide. And this side might feel different. Maybe this side feels more stable, maybe not. Or you can explore tree pose on this side. Maybe with your foot on the floor, maybe on the side of your shin, underneath your knee, not on your knee joint, or higher than your knee. And then balance it this way. Use your arms. And you can play with those balancing poses, whatever works for you today. And then shake it out. Shaking it out. And then we'll go back to our seated forms. So make yourself comfortable. Have something underneath your feet if you like. I like to have something underneath my feet. And then one way, or I would like to offer some movements of our spine. And the first one I would like to offer is the cat-cow seated. We call it cat-cow in yoga. So there are two ways of doing that seated. You can have your hands on your knees, and then you bring, it's almost like you want to bring your chest up towards the ceiling. So you're just inhaling, bringing your chest up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, you round your spine and your chin towards your chest. So inhaling, exhaling, rounding your spine, bringing your chin towards your chest. So this is one way of doing it. Another way might be to do it with your arms open. So you almost like you have cactus arms. Cactus. So inhaling. And then when you exhale, you bring your arms closer together and round your spine. So that's the other way of doing it. So you can decide which cat-cow movement you prefer to do. You can do this one. And moving with your breath. So inhaling one direction, exhaling another direction. Or doing this one. And when you're ready, take a moment in a neutral form, maybe closing your eyes. And just notice your breathing. And then from here, another movement of your spine is to rotate your spine. And different options there too. You can look over your shoulder, and that might be your way of rotating your spine today. Or maybe looking over your other shoulder. And another way might be to bring the opposite hand to, or your hand to your opposite knee, and then rotate, bring that other arm behind you, and rotating this way. And then you can decide how far you like to rotate. It doesn't have to be a very deep twist. It's not about going really far. It's more about how far do you want to go today? Just twisting. Maybe staying on one side for a little while, or maybe moving slowly from side to side. And using your breathing when you're staying on one side a little bit longer, just to see if you can find a slow, deep breath. And if you're moving from side to side, maybe inhaling when you're moving forward, and exhaling when you're moving to the other side. And when you're ready, slowly maybe coming to your neutral, take a moment there. Notice how your spine feels after these rotations and flexion and extension of your spine. And seated, we also did it standing, but seated also is inhaling your arm all the way up and maybe over. And then exhaling in front. It's like making a circle a little bit different. So inhaling up and over, and exhaling in front. Let's do that a few more times. At the pace of your own breathing. Maybe one more time. And then just take a moment before we move over to the other side. And then inhaling the other arm over and up and over. And exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. And a few more times at the pace of your own breathing. And one more time. And come to your neutral form. Maybe take a moment noticing how your spine feels, your back. And from here, maybe give your back a little massage by rolling your shoulders one at a time, rolling them. And you can almost feel like you're massaging, or you can feel you're massaging your back. Just rolling your shoulders one at a time. And another way might be to bring your hand towards your shoulder and then making slow circles. And again, inhaling for half a circle and then exhaling, completing the circle. It's about really moving slow. You may be reversing the circle. And then come back to your neutral form. And then let's do the other side. Slowly making circles. Or maybe rotating, reversing your circle, inhaling and exhaling. And then come to your neutral. And again, let's take a moment, maybe close your eyes if you like. Just notice how your shoulders feel. Notice how your body feels. How are you breathing? Did anything change? And then let's do some movements for our neck by bringing our ear towards our shoulder. Maybe I'd like to stay here for a little bit, or maybe I'd like to see how that feels on the other side. You can choose to stay on one side a little bit longer, or maybe moving from side to side. By inhaling, going to neutral, exhaling over to one side. Inhaling Exhaling or staying on one side for a little bit longer. You can explore for yourself. Maybe there's another way you like to move your neck that I'm not offering. You're welcome to do that. Maybe coming to neutral in your own time and looking over your shoulder. Looking over your other shoulder. Maybe looking down, bringing your chin towards your chest. Maybe looking up towards the ceiling. And then again to neutral. And then another form I like to offer is the figure 4 form. So bringing your ankle over your knee. You can do that lying down if that's more comfortable for you, or you can do it seated. And just hanging out here for a few breaths. Maybe some slow, deep breathing here. Maybe one more deep breath. Maybe the other one. Maybe we'll do the other side. Also a few slow, deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And slowly bring your foot down, maybe on top of your cushion again. And then I want to offer also we moved all our joints now, except our wrists. So I want to start with maybe it's almost like we're playing the piano, or like virtual piano players here. You can be as wild as you like, just playing the piano here. And then from there, just slowly, and again, half a circle inhale, and then half a circle exhale. And you can decide if you like to have wrists, if you like to have your arms open, whatever feels okay for you. But the key is slow. It's always hard for us. And you can have your arms here. You can also have your arms here. So you don't have to do exactly how but it's always hard for us to move slow. Because we all have this tendency often to just do these things quickly, like quick movements. So it's good to sometimes just do things very slowly. And to really notice that movement of your joints. Maybe reversing the circle, and you can do whatever. You can do different ways, maybe from fist to open hands to Maybe interlace your fingers like this, and then really stretch your arms out. You really, it's almost like you want to bring your shoulder blades or get your shoulder blades away from each other. And then maybe having your, helping your joint move here, your wrists. And you can do it one way and the other hand, and you can also do it the opposite way. If that feels okay for you, if it doesn't feel okay for you and it's painful, then of course, please don't do it. In the yoga that I'm offering, I always like to work without pain, or no pain. And of course, we'll feel a little bit of a stretch or a muscle, or those are normal, especially if you don't do these movements often. And then maybe some shaking. Shaking, you can shake your hands like this, or like this, whatever you like. Just shaking. Again, I do like to shake. I like to shake. Okay, let's have our hands on our knees for a moment. Or maybe let's just have our hands on our bellies. Hands on our bellies. And just notice your belly moving. When you inhale and when you exhale. Maybe you notice that your belly is moving out on an inhale and relaxes on an exhale. But it's also possible that you notice something different, a different movement. So just notice for a moment. Nice. And to end our practice, I would like to move to lying down. But if you like to stay seated on your chair, you're welcome to do so. So take your time to move to a lying down position or to stay seated. And have your blanket at this point. If you need a blanket where you are, I'm going to get one here. Have your blankets close to you and your pillow for your head to rest on might be nice. So it's nice to have everything close to you before you lay down. And then we'll lay down. I hope everybody can see me still. Yes. Yeah. Lying down here. And then you just bring one knee in towards your chest. And you can have your other foot on the floor still. Just bringing one knee towards your chest for a moment. And then maybe change and have your other knee towards your chest. And then have your both feet on the floor and your knees bent. Maybe For last time, have your hands towards your shoulders if you like. And then again, making those circles that we just did, one at a time, but maybe just do them at the same time. Just making the circles and just notice how that feels. If you do this circular movement for your shoulder joint, if you do that lying down, might feel different for you. So that's another option of while you're laying in bed at night or in the morning to move your shoulders. And then maybe bring one leg up and then hold your leg behind your hamstrings. You have your hands behind your hamstrings. And maybe your leg comes here. That's enough for you. Maybe here. It doesn't matter. We all have different bodies. So and then just hang out here for a bit. And make sure you feel the stretch in the belly of your hamstring. So nothing, if the pain or if you feel a stretch around your knees, please come out a little bit. Yeah, so we're aiming to feel it in the belly of our hamstring, this stretch here. And then we'll release. And then we'll just bring the other leg up. Also, hands behind your leg and see if you can feel that stretch in the belly of your hamstring there too. We'll stay here for a moment. And then release. And then it's time to relax. So get your pillow underneath your head and your blanket. I will go sit so I can guide you through this relaxation. So make yourself comfortable. As comfortable as you can be. Comfortable in seated position or lying down position. It's a blanket. Just taking a moment to really slow down your body, relax. And maybe take a deep inhale in and a big sigh out. Let everything go. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep inhale. And big sigh. One more. Letting everything go. Notice how everything is starting to relax. Notice the connection between yourself and the floor beneath you. Notice how your breathing is slowing down. Maybe you notice the temperature of the room. Maybe you notice some sounds around you. Just notice them. And then bring your awareness to the crown of your head. And into your forehead. Soften the muscles of your face, of your eyebrows. your eyes, your cheeks, your lips, your jaw. With every exhale, soften the muscles around your face. And the feeling of relaxation travels down towards your neck, softening the muscles of your neck. And that feeling of relaxation moves down to your right shoulder and your left shoulder, and all the way down your left arm, the fingers of your left hand, and then all the way your right arm, and all the fingers of your right hand. And then bring your awareness to your collarbones, and down towards your diaphragm, your belly, into your hips. Notice that with every exhale, you start to relax a little bit more. The feeling of relaxation travels down your right leg, your thigh, your knee, your shin, right ankle, right foot, and all the toes of your right foot. And the feeling of relaxation travels down your left leg, your left thigh, your left knee, shin, ankle, foot, and all the toes of your left foot. And bring your awareness to your low back, mid back, upper back, that space between your shoulder blades feels heavy. To the back of your neck, the back of your head, your whole body starts to relax with every exhale. From the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, your whole body feels relaxed, heavy, and soft. And slowly bring your awareness back towards your breathing. Notice your belly moving up and down with your breathing. And by noticing your breathing, you slowly begin to come back from this relaxed state, slowly coming back to the space where you're in, the room you're in, noticing the connection between yourself and the mat beneath you or the floor beneath you. And slowly start to come back. Maybe I like to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe I like to move your head from side to side. Slowly coming back. And maybe I like to Take a big stretch. And really stretching your body. And take a deep inhale. And exhale. And maybe bringing your knees towards your chest, giving yourself a big hug. And in your own time, rolling onto one side. And take a moment there. There's no need to rush. Just take a moment on your side. And then when you're ready, slowly come to a seated position. And maybe keep your eyes closed if you like. Taking the time to come back from this relaxed state. Maybe you like to bring your hands together in front of your heart center. And maybe bowing your head and acknowledging yourself. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for taking time out of your day to meet yourself in the present moment. And I'd like to thank all of you for doing yoga with me today. Namaste.